Dog found buried alive defies her abuser by living an awesome life. But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe to Happy World, and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories. Animal cruelty is no laughing matter, and this adorable pooch certainly didn't deserve to get abandoned by her owner. But that's exactly what happened. She wound up buried in his backyard under dirt and rocks and left to die. The only problem was that she very much wanted to live. The owner was determined to make sure that his dog never made it out of her man-made prison in the ground alive. So he tied her down to keep her from escaping. But despite the owner's attempt to murder his dog by burying it under the earth like a piece of trash, she survived. This female mastiff was living in Paris when her horrific nightmare began, and it was her owner's cruelty that put her in the ground. But it was the kindness of another human being by the name of Pedro Denis that saved her in the nick of time. Denis added, "I was in the right place at the right time to save a life." Denis had been walking his own dog named Goddess in Carrière-sur-Seine, just west of Paris, when he noticed the dog buried in the dirt. Only her head was visible, and it was really difficult for him to see her because of all the dirt that had been used to cover her up. He also noticed that the dog had a rope around its neck, so he quickly got to work at digging her out. Through it all, it became obvious to him that the dog hadn't actually fallen into a hole in the ground. It had been buried alive, on purpose. Denis wasn't the only one that lent the mastiff a hand out of her earthly prison grave. He had the help from his own dog, who he'd been walking, when they both discovered the pooch in distress. The tiny dog used its claws to help dig out its potential new friend before it was too late. The mastiff's name is Athena, and both Denis and his dog dug until they discovered something shocking. Athena wasn't just buried alive, she was also tied to a rope that was also tied to a sack filled with gravel. Clearly, her former owner wanted to make sure that she never, ever got out. The sack of gravel would have ensured that Athena's death was certain, as it kept her grounded and unable to get out. By the time Denis and her dog got Athena out, she was shocked, sad, and severely dehydrated. So he gave her his own water to drink out of. As soon as she had had enough to drink, Denis started to clean her face up, but both her and his dog Goddess were very concerned. He was appalled by the fact that anyone could have done this to Athena, or any animal for that matter. So he started taking photos and sharing them on Facebook. After Denis contacted emergency services in France, Athena was taken to the nearest veterinary clinic. Although authorities have no way of knowing how long she'd been buried in the ground, they believe that she may have been trapped in there for several hours, based solely on the dog's level of stress. Athena didn't have a microchip, which made it difficult to track down her cruel and abusive owner. But she did have a tattoo that helped authorities locate her owner. Once the 21-year-old was taken into custody, he claimed that the dog had run away on her own. But authorities called his bluff because the 10-year-old mastiff suffers from arthritis and couldn't have dug a hole and trapped herself. The owner was slapped with a $31,000 fine, an animal cruelty charge, and could wind up with a 2-year prison sentence. While locals have petitioned for a stronger sentence, Athena gets to live happily ever after at a dog rescue group called SOS Dog de Bordeaux, with a bunch of adoptive canine siblings and shoe-loving owners by the name of Jean-Pierre and Raymond Delphos.